Hey, I'm Sam Tabor, and I'm going to teach you how to nose slide big spin, or 270 shove, 3 shove, whatever you want to. Alright, so this is the funniest thing ever. I was going to explain how to do this trick in there, but we have like construction workers right now, so I'm going to do it right here in the middle of this junkyard. Casey's filming. Alright, so to do a nose slide big spin, I don't think it's that hard. Casey thinks it's hard. To me, it was the first like shovey, slidey grind trick that I ever did. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do it right now. The first thing you need to learn how to do is a nose slide, and that sounds very basic or like duh, you know what I'm saying? I do have a trick tip on nose slides, so you guys can check that out by clicking link in the description. I think I do. If I don't, then I just sound like an idiot right now. It's been a while. I have a trick tip on how to do nose slides, so learn that, get your nose slides down, and then you're ready for the 270 shove. All right, so 270 shove is very not that hard. I'm pretty sure, I've never tried this, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you can just stall it and do it. Yeah, you can.
Good job.
Do that. So what I did just now, with the nose slide, you really want to have all your weight on the nose, which if you know how to nose slide, you probably know that by now. You really don't want to have any weight right here on this side, because if you do, then it's probably gonna go primo when you try to shove it out and flip. This is how I do the shove it part. I do not go like that. I try to like aim it down a little bit and then pop up and go like that a little bit. So it's kind of like a pop motion and a scoop motion at the same time, so it goes like that. Does that make sense? Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. My back foot, I don't think I do anything, but potentially I might go like that a little bit. I don't really know if I do that. I don't think about doing that. I've tried to think of not doing anything with my back foot, but I'm pretty sure I just completely focus on my front foot. Back foot doesn't really do anything other than get out of the freaking way. So the hardest part of this trick for me is making sure you're balanced in the right direction. You don't want to be leaning too far forward, and you don't want to be leaning too far back, because when you're leaning too far forward, the board is going to go behind you and you're going to land like that. When you're leaning too far back, you're either going to like land like this and slip out and
die.
Not die, or you might land like this. The second hardest thing for me learning it was committing to it, because pretty much this trick will just do it, but you need to commit to it, because if you don't commit to it, you're not going to land it. And that was the hardest. That was the second hardest part for me. Is like after I learned how to get balance and stuff like that, is just committing to the trick. One thing that I was scared of was landing primo, but to this day I've never landed primo. Is there wood? Yeah, knock on wood.
There's like so much.
There's so much wood over there. I've never landed primo on this trick because it's kind of really hard to flip it sideways, like unless you're going for like a big heel or something like that. But if you just like pop it with your nose and shove it a little bit and don't do anything with this foot, then you're gonna be fine. It's not gonna land primo. You don't need to worry about it going primo. I was always scared of just like landing on it and slipping out, which I've also never done. So really, there's no reason to be scared of this trick. There's nothing really bad that can happen. Just expect to land on the board. That's the number one thing, is like before you go for the nose slide, just envision it, expect to land on the skateboard and roll away, and then you're gonna do it. Also, I try to think of catching this trick with my back foot, not my front foot, or just both feet. For me, it kind of helps to think of landing the trick in a manual. That sounds kind of weird, but when I go for this, I imagine going blip blip. And it most of the time doesn't go blip blip, but sometimes it does. And I think that's way easier, because you don't even think of it as a 270 shove at that point. You just think of it as like a shove it and then you pivot. And even if it doesn't do that, if you think of it that way, it might make it a little easier for you. So things that can go wrong with this trick, really the only thing I can think of, maybe it will go primo if you're weird. I'm just kidding, you're not weird. That's really the only like bad thing that I can think of happening. Other than that,
the ledge sticking.
What Casey just said, the ledge sticking. I think the hardest part is like in the nose slide. Like you really have to have a good nose slide to do the trick. Like if you're nose sliding and it's sticking a little bit, you're not gonna do it, because you're gonna try to do it and it's just gonna go way behind you. That happens to me a lot. I think it's always good for it to be extra slippery for this trick. So wax is your friend. If you're sticking a lot, then just wax it a lot, because it's almost good to be slipping out a little bit, because then when you push it forward and it does the shove it, you're over it more when you're slipping out. Like, and which is kind of scary if you're not committing to it, but if you're committing to it, it's kind of good. So yeah, my number one tip with this is to practice a nose slide. Also, it really helps to be able to pop out of a nose slide a little bit, like this. I'm gonna try to do it stationary. It's gonna be weird, but try to like pop out of a nose slide like that. And you don't have to do it like really crazily or anything like that. You don't have to pop like a million feet in the air, but it really does help with like popping it high out of the nose slide. All right, so number one, learn how to nose slide very well. All the weight right here, freaking dancy toe legs over here. You're sliding, it's a good slide. You're not leaning too far back, you're not leaning too far forward. You're perfectly balanced. And then once you get to the end, bend it down just a little bit, not too much, that's too much. So you're gonna bend it down and then pop. And while you're popping, you want to also scoop that way. Back foot does nothing. Wait for it to come around, catch with back foot, commit to it. That is the number one key, is committing to it. I'm pretty sure I've said like number one key 12 times. There's like 12 number one keys, but that's
12 keys.
That's one of the keys in Kingdom Hearts. That's pretty much how to do it. I'm gonna do this again because it was really fun. There's no other way to describe it.
Can you big
Subscribe.
That was cool.
Hope you guys enjoyed that trick tip. It's a very fun trick. I don't do it that often, but whenever I do, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that, and it's really fun. Casey, you wanna try what I just tried?
On here?
Yeah, you got it.
I'm really bad at this.
Follow my advice.
Okay, just think about your tip. Did that count?
That was good. That was very good.
I think it's the bench's fault, not mine.
I thought you said it's the Avengers' fault.
The Avengers.
Oh, you idiot!
How what? Subscribe.
First try. Subscribe. Oh! Dude! What is wrong with you?